For sticking with me. Today I'm going to show you how to do this very fun and very simple slinky chain earring. Here we go. This one features our mother of pearl Pikake bead and some Swarovski crystal. The beads are strung on a chain that we like to call slinky chain. This one is sterling silver, but we do have it available in gold fill and rose gold fill as well. And yeah, this is a really nice design because it eliminates the need to know how to do any kind of wire working whatsoever. All you need is a chain nose plier like this. Like a wire cutter would be good. Like this, we gotta cut the chain. And a crimping plier. This is the original size crimping plier. Now they make it in 3 sizes, but this is the original that is meant to crimp 2x2 crimps. So the standard small size, not the micro and not the jumbo crimps. Okay, so crimping tool, cutter, and chain nose plier. That's all you need to make this cute pair of earrings. Oh, and a ruler and a Sharpie would help. And that's about it. So let's get started, okay? Here we go. Okay, so here's my setup. I already have one side done here, so I just need to copy the second side. As you can see, the crystals are only secured on the bottom side, so they can't slide further down the chain than I want them to, but they can slide along the chain above the crimp, like so. It's not fixed in place, and it's okay when you're wearing it, they will fall because of gravity to the lowest points. So that reduces the need for so many crimps. Okay, so here's my slinky chain. I have about a 3-inch segment here, but we're not going to use the entire section. It helps to have sort of a longer piece than needed because we'll just trim it at the end. It's hard to work with exactly the length you need. You need a little bit extra. Okay, then I have some 1x2 crimps here. 1x2 millimeter. We call them mini crimps here. Basically, they're like little cylinders or tubes, and I'm going to squash them to hold the beads in place. I have a couple of Swarovski crystals here, and I have my carved shell mother of pearl Pikake bead. I have a closed clamshell, so that is a clamshell finding here with a closed loop or a pair of closed loops that you hook into. And I have my ear wire. So that's all you need. The first thing I'm going to do is, and I already did it for this one, is I marked off with a Sharpie on my chain 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1 3/4 inch from the end, from one end. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see, but I did 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1 3/4 inch, and that will lead to this spacing here that you see for this size of beads. Now you can't always use the same spacing if your beads are all different sizes, but just to make things easier, I measured it beforehand. Okay, and then on one end, the end that is marked a 1/2 inch away, I'm going to string on my first mini crimp and just squash it on the very tip of the chain. Okay, so I'm using a chain nose plier to squash the crimp, and what you end up with is like a little rectangle that ends up being about 1 millimeter by 2 millimeters in size. Here, stuck to the end of the chain. You want to make sure that it doesn't fall off, like slide off by accident, because then your earring will fall apart. But you also do not want to squish it so hard that you cut through the end of the chain. Okay, so just pinch it on there, make sure it's secure. Then I'm going to string my clamshell onto the chain so that the clam is eating the crimp. Okay, just like this. Okay, here's my clam eating my crimp, like this. Okay, and I'm going to close the clamshell over the crimp. And I'm just going to do it by squeezing very gently with my chain nose plier. And then on the closed clamshell, you'll notice that the two loops will line up, so you'll have just a single loop on the end, and to which you can attach your ear wire. I'll do that last. Okay, so for this pattern here, we're going to string just a 4mm bicone first. In the original design for this project, we used 1x1 micro crimps. So if you have those at home, you can try doing it with this project, but I found it really hard with the micro crimps that we had to find ones with holes large enough to comfortably accommodate the slinky chain. So I decided to make things a little bit easier for myself and switch up to a one size larger crimp to hold all my beads in place. But if you see here, you can see how teeny weeny the micro crimps are. They look really good. It's just that it's a little bit of a struggle sometimes to get it onto the chain. And yeah, if you don't want to struggle, use a bigger crimp like the 1x2 versus this 1x1 crimp. But if you have these at home and you have the slinky chain, or if you have a slightly skinnier slinky chain, then by all means, please use that size. Okay, so I have my first mini crimp I'm going to string on after I strung on my 4mm crystal. And I'm going to look for the mark that is a 1/2 inch away from the clamshell. Okay, so it helps to hold the clamshell between your fingers like this and the other end of the chain like this, so it's pulling tight. You have tension between there, and that way you can just hold your crimp with the chain nose plier and then squeeze it when you're at the right distance. Like this. Again, don't squeeze it so hard that you cut through the chain, because that's not a good thing. But you don't want it to slide either. Okay. Next I'm going to string the 6mm. Look at how easy these are. I'm almost done. Okay. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to string on the next mini crimp. Okay. And again, hold the chain, the clamshell, between two fingers, and then hold the chain between two other fingers, and then you're going to have your place that you're aiming the crimp between that, pulling tight or taut. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to squish the second mini crimp to hold my second bead in place, like this. And then I'm going to string on my carved shell Pikake. So we have this, I'll show you, we have this in 3 different sizes in the store, this particular carved Pikake bead. And it makes a really cute earring if you use all 3 beads together. So I'll show you that as soon as we're done here. Okay, so I'm going to string on my shell flower. And again, pull the chain kind of tight between your fingers. And notice that I'm having my hands touch like this. It makes it so much easier to hold the chain nose pliers steady and aim your crimp. So if you work with your hands really close together, you can stabilize, your pliers so you can aim correctly, as opposed to just sort of letting it slide around. So having your hands touch when you're doing anything like this where you need a little bit of accuracy, having your hands touch is a good thing. Okay, so here we go. I have all my beads stuck on there. I do have extra chain, but you see the way that we had to hold the chain like this and pull it tight. It really helps to have a bit extra. Okay. So hopefully they're the same distance. I think that's pretty close. Yeah. Okay. And then what we can do is, you notice that the 1x2 mini crimps, when you squish them, they are sort of a rectangle and they're somewhat noticeable on the chain. If you want to minimize the look of these crimps, what you can do is get a crimping tool and fold those crimps in half. So the crimping tool looks like this. Okay. And you'll notice that there's two sections in the jaw. There's a section that looks like lips, and there's a section that looks like an almond, I guess, or like more round and more circular. So the lips are on the inside and the rounded section is on the tip of the crimping tool. Okay, so what you want to do is we squish the crimps to hold them in place, and they're nice and flat, so they're very easy to fold in half. You want to put the crimp on the inside jaw of the crimping tool in the lips, because the dent in the lips is going to dent your crimp, so we can fold it in half along the dent. Okay, so I'm going to just dent it like so. And it's really hard to see because it's very tiny, but you have to trust me when I say it's dented in the middle now. So it's like a more of a V shape than a flat rectangle. And then we're going to use the outside, the more rounded part of the jaw, to fold the crimp in half. This part's a little bit tricky because sometimes it can pop the crimp open and the crimp will slide like it's doing it now. Okay. So when you fold it in half, you want to go back with like your chain nose plier and squish it onto the chain a little bit tighter, just to make sure that it won't slide. Like this. Okay, so now the look of the crimp is minimized because it's been folded in half. So we're going to do that for all three of the mini crimps. So first dent, then turn it 90 degrees and fold it in the jaw. We do have this as a instructional video on this channel. So if you want to see this action close up with a slightly larger crimp, the 2x2 small crimps, then yeah, please check out that basic stringing 2 ways video. I think it shows how to fold crimps in half. And if it doesn't, it's somewhere on our channel.
I think it's called beading, stringing 2 ways.
Stringing 2 ways, but
Yep.
Does that show the folding in half?
It does.
Okay,
it does.
okay.
It
So
does,
yeah, because we showed crimping 2 ways with a
Mhm.
twisted crimp and then with the folding in half crimp. So check out that video. Okay, last one. I'm going to dent it again. And then we're going to turn it 90 degrees and fold it in half. There we go. Okay, and then we can use the chain nose or the flat nose like I just grabbed to sort of reinforce that it's pinched onto the chain. Okay, so you're gonna squish the crimp along the fold so it's like nicely folded in half. Okay, so now all my crimps have been folded in half and I'm pretty much done here. We just want to make sure that the crimp doesn't move before we cut. And you can cut really close to the crimp so it doesn't look like there's like a tail sticking up. We're just going to use a wire cutter here. Trim that. I can trim it even closer. Right up the bottom of the crimp. Like this. Okay, and then we're going to open our ear wire loop. If you only have a chain nose plier, you can just use a chain nose plier. If you have a flat nose, I prefer that because you can grab a larger area of wire with the flat nose plier. So you're just going to grab the ear wire, swivel the loop open. Then we're going to poke it through the loop of our closed clamshell. Like this, and swivel shut. Here we go. So now we have our pair of earrings is done. Wasn't that sort of easy? I think so. So you can do, you know, different combinations of crystals, different colors here. Okay. Or if you want to get really fancy, this earring shows the 3 different sizes of shell flower that we have. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. Okay, so the size that I was using in the crystal earrings is the medium size. That's this one here. So we have one size Pikake bigger and one size smaller. So they're super cute when you put them all on the slinky chain like this. Okay, and if you notice one thing about this pair of earrings that I did earlier, you'll see that there's like these little balls instead of the crimps holding the flowers in place. And that's a trick because I still had to use crimps to crimp along the chain, and then for a more finished look I used mini crimp covers. Those are like little silver shells that you can squeeze into a ball shape after you put it around the crimp. Okay, so if you want an extra finished look or an extra nice finish to your project, you can use some mini crimp covers to go over your crimps, and then it'll look like little silver round beads instead of crimps along your chain. So it gives a really, really nice finished look. Okay, so again, we do have this chain available in sterling silver, gold fill, and rose gold fill. The only thing is we don't have mini crimps in rose gold fill, so you'll probably have to use yellow gold mini crimps to hold your beads in place. But we have mini crimp covers in rose gold fill, Jason?
No, just regular.
Oh, okay. Well, we can just put regular crimp covers over it if you would like a rose gold finish to your project. Now for the slinky chain, finishing it with a clamshell like this is a relatively new concept for us. We used to just use end crimps, which are like little tubes with loops on them, and pinch those directly onto the ends of the chain. But the end crimps are not really available in rose gold fill or yellow gold fill, and if you want to keep everything gold filled, then the clamshells are the way to go. Okay, does anybody have any questions or anything? Because that concludes my presentation of this.
Amy is asking, do these come as a kit?
Yeah, yes, we can make you a kit of this. Let us know if you want the crystal version. We're working on those right now, and we even pair your Pikake for you so they match really nicely. And then yeah, the kit will come in sterling silver right now, but if you would like to see like to do it in gold or rose gold, just let us know and we will customize a kit for you. Yeah. And it's really fun, isn't it? And then hopefully you'll have a crimping tool, a crimping plier. But you really do need the chain nose plier to squish your crimps. Yeah, the folding is just a nice finish. It makes it look really nicely done. And you also use the crimping plier to close your crimp covers. So it's a very handy tool to have, even though really the only thing you do with it is fold crimps in half and close crimp covers. It's a very specialized tool, but it's not expensive, so that's a handy thing to have as well. All right, does anybody have any other questions?
Let's look.
Let's see. And we sell the Pikake by itself as well in the 3 different sizes that is available in our online store right now. So that's kind of nice, and then you can build your own if you already have some slinky chain at home, if you already have some of the findings that we used. They also look nice wire wrapped together. So instead of the slinky chain, if you're more handy with wire, you can just link them together and do some basic wire wrap, and you'll get a nice dangly earring. That looks really good too. So if you just want the Pikake, go to our website, www.thebeadgallery.com, and check out our online store. If you search Pikake, and that's spelled Pikake, if you search that on our online store, then you should be able to find the carved flowers just by themselves. But if you want a full kit, just let us know, and we will definitely help you with that.
Amy's asking.
Yes.
Do we have a price yet for the kits?
Not the finished kit. We're working on that.
We're working on
we
the
are
kit.
working on that.
Yeah.
We will let you know
Yeah.
right away, because
Yeah.
we had to do some editing with the kit as to what was going to go in it, because I did switch from the micro crimps to the mini ones. And then we don't know if we're going to add crimp covers yet. Because they're cute like this without them, but
Yeah.
you know, they might be cuter with. So
I'm not sure.
who likes the crimp covers?
Oh yeah, let's do a vote.
Let's
out
do
there.
a poll. Anybody, if you prefer crimp covers, let us know. It's a very nice finish. Or if you think that it is good with just the crimps,
Minimal.
yeah. We'd love to hear from you. So,
Yes.
you know, any input is very welcome. Okay, I think that's about it then.
All
That
right.
was a very short live today.
That's not bad. 30
That's
minutes.
okay. It's okay though. That's a very fun project. So yeah, if you have any other questions, please just comment on the video and we'll look at it after the show even, or yeah, we'll address it later. Or you can text us or email us and we will be happy to answer any questions you may have. Let's go over here. Okay. Okay, so that is my presentation for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you'll try either the full Pikake earring or the sparkly crystal one. Or just try something with the slinky chain. If you don't like shells and you don't like flowers, that's totally cool. You can do this with full Swarovski crystal if you want a sparkly skinny look. We even have some findings that have like 5 tubes worth, so you can do like a 5-strand type of slinky chain earring with all the same kind of ideas. So if you want, please check it out. Okay? And until then, thank you so much for joining me this time. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel. If you would like to receive notifications on when we come on live, please hit the bell thingy next to the subscribe button, right? Right, ding.
That's right.
And please like this video if you liked it. It makes me so happy to see all those thumbs ups. And yeah, so any comments, we love those to see those too. So until next time, please live, love, and create. Have fun beading. Everybody take care and be well. And we'll see you again next time. Okay? Aloha.